Welcome back, warriors. Today isn't just another video. Today is the day you decide to fundamentally change your mindset. What you are about to hear isn't simply motivation, it is a necessary wake-up call. You must understand that nothing in life happens just because you think about it. Nothing will fundamentally change simply because you want it to. You actually have to try, at least once. Maybe you aren't the smartest person in the room. Perhaps you aren't the most beautiful, the richest, the fastest, or the most naturally talented. But if you possess discipline, you become unstoppable. Why? Because discipline beats talent. Discipline builds rock-solid habits. Discipline forges a warrior, and a warrior wins even when they are exhausted, terrified, and broken down. So, today, we dive deep. Today, you will learn 20 life-altering lessons on the subject of self-discipline. While this video motivates you to build self-discipline, it is also designed to elevate your English proficiency. You will master new vocabulary, internalize better sentence structures, and sharpen your listening skills, all within one powerful experience. Principle 1. Self-discipline means keeping the promises you make to yourself. Discipline is not about achieving perfection, nor is it about always feeling strong. It is about absolute integrity with your own word. If you say, "I will wake up at 6 a.m. tomorrow," you get up not because it's easy, but because you made a covenant with yourself. Even if it's your birthday, even if it's raining, even if you just don't feel like it, discipline means you feel the pain, but you do the thing anyway. Imagine this. You have a goal to exercise every morning. One day, your alarm blares. It's dark, it's cold, and you feel heavy with sleep. You tell yourself, maybe I can skip just this one day. But suddenly, you remember, no, I promised myself I wouldn't quit. And you rise. That small internal moment where you fight against your comfort zone, that is where your future is forged. Cristiano Ronaldo was once asked, "Do you ever feel like skipping practice?" He replied, "Yes, but I fight that feeling." That is the difference between a champion and a dreamer. Lesson 2. Focus on what you can do right now. Most people lose discipline because their minds are stuck in two places. 1. The past. What hurt them? How many times they failed? 2. The future. What if it doesn't work out? What if I fail again? What if people laugh? But true discipline lives solely in the present. Right now, this second. What is the small action you can take right now to be better? Can you stand up and take a walk? Can you open that book? Can you stop scrolling and actually work? Consider a student who failed math last year. His mind tells him, "I am terrible at this. I'll never learn." But what he misses is this. He can study just one chapter today. He can ask his teacher just one question today. Discipline is not about doing everything. It is about doing one thing right now. And when you repeat that small action daily, your entire life begins to shift. Lesson 3. The pain of discipline is infinitely better than the pain of regret. This is the simple truth most people overlook. Both paths contain pain, but only one pain leads to success. You can feel the pain of waking up early, or you can feel the pain of failure later. You can feel the pain of exercise, or the pain of being unwell, unhealthy, and tired your entire life. You can feel the sting of saying no to distractions, or the deep ache of regret for wasted time. Think about this. You stay up late watching shows. You crash at 2 a.m. You wake up late. You miss your morning goals. You feel sluggish and defeated. And then what do you say? "I wish I had gone to sleep earlier." That is regret, and it burns hotter than discipline ever could. But imagine instead, you stop the shows, you go to sleep early, you wake up refreshed, you complete your workout, you hit your goals, and you feel proud. That is discipline. And that pride, that self-respect, is priceless. 4. Learn to say no, even when it's difficult. Discipline is not just about what you start doing, it is critically about what you stop doing. And most people fail at discipline because they haven't mastered this one small, powerful word: no. You must understand this. Saying no is not rudeness. Saying no is self-respect. It is self-protection. It is declaring, I honor my time, my energy, and my goals. When friends call you to a random party that doesn't serve your future, say no. When someone offers you gossip instead of growth, say no. When your phone demands your attention but your goals require your action, say no. You see, every time you say yes to something useless, you are simultaneously saying no to something meaningful. People might not like it. They might say you've changed. Good. You have changed. Because you are building something they cannot even imagine. Let this sink into your soul. If you don't learn to say no to distractions, you are saying yes to a life you don't want. Starting today, proudly say no, no guilt, no apologies, because your dream is not a joke and your time is gold. 5. Do not tell everyone your plan. Let your success make the noise. We live in a world where everyone feels the need to share everything. You start a goal, and the first thing people do is post about it and announce it. But discipline doesn't crave attention. Discipline requires silence. You don't need to tell the world, I'm going to start waking up at 5 a.m. Just wake up. Let your results show. You don't need to tell your friends, I've decided to be more focused. Just focus. Let your growth speak louder than your voice. Here is why. Talking too much about your goals gives your brain a false reward. You feel good saying it, so you stop doing it. But true discipline is different. It is silent. It is private. It is sacred. Think of a tree. When it's growing its roots, you see nothing from the outside. But deep underground, something powerful is taking place. That is your discipline. When you grow in silence, you are not distracted by applause. You are not worried about opinions. You have the freedom to simply rise. And when your results finally show, people will ask, how did you do that? And you will smile, because only you will know the battle you silently fought. So, remember this. Be loyal to your goal, not the attention. Don't speak, just work. Let your actions shock the world. 6. Be innocent in your work. Fall in love with the process. Most people fail because they are hyper-focused on the reward. They want the money, the fame, the perfect body, the respect, and when it doesn't arrive quickly, they quit. But discipline is not about chasing the outcome. It is about loving the process like a child plays not to win, but for the sheer joy of participation. Be innocent in your effort. Don't worry if people are watching. Don't worry if the progress is slow. Just give your very best effort every single day. When you clean your room, treat it like your temple. When you study, study like knowledge is gold. When you work, treat it like your art. Don't always search for the prize, because the process is the reward. You don't need to impress anyone. You don't need to compete with anyone. You only need to show up completely, honestly, and consistently. That is the true meaning of discipline. Doing the right thing with a full heart, even when no one sees. And slowly, something magical happens. You don't just change your results, you change who you are. Because when you love the process, you don't need motivation. You become unstoppable. 7. 1% motivation, 99% discipline. Most people wait for motivation. They say, I'll start working when I feel inspired. I'll go to the gym when I'm in the mood. I'll study when I feel driven. But the truth is brutal. Motivation is temporary. Discipline is permanent. Motivation is a spark. It burns bright and dies fast. But discipline is the steady fire you build with your own hands. If you rely on motivation, you'll succeed for 2 days. If you build discipline, you will succeed for a lifetime. Ask any champion. Ask any legend. Ask any master. They will tell you the same thing. Most days, I didn't feel like doing it, but I did it anyway. Discipline is when you show up despite the mood. Discipline is when you take action without waiting for the feeling. Discipline is when you declare, I don't care how I feel. I care about what I promised. Let this register in your mind. You don't just brush your teeth when you're motivated. You don't go to work only when you feel like it. You do it because it is necessary. Now, treat your dreams the same way. Motivation is a decent start, but discipline is what finishes the race. 8. Learn something new every single day. Discipline is not only about habits and schedules. It is about evolving your mind. It is about becoming better than the person you were yesterday. If you do the same thing every day, think the same thoughts, and live the same life, you are not disciplined. You are merely existing. True discipline is the commitment to growth. Make a promise every day. Learn one new thing. It can be small, a new word, a fresh idea, a different perspective, but it must be new. And it must be daily. Why? Because learning keeps your fire alive. It keeps your mind sharp. It keeps you hungry. You don't need an advanced degree to grow. You need curiosity. You need hunger, and you need consistency. Ask yourself every night, what did I learn today? And if the answer is nothing, wake up and change your life. Growth isn't always grand. Sometimes it is quiet, sometimes it is slow. But when you keep learning day after day, you are building a life that no one can ever take from you. Because knowledge is freedom, and discipline is the key that unlocks it. 9. Make decisions from your future self, not your current mood. Discipline is destroyed when we make choices based on how we feel now instead of who we aspire to become. Let me repeat that slowly. Do not make decisions based on your emotions. Make decisions based on your future. Your present self might crave comfort, extra sleep, junk food, and wasted time, but your future self, your successful, respected, happy, and fulfilled version, that version craves effort, pain, transcendence, growth, and consistency. So, every time you are about to make a decision, ask this powerful question: will this serve my future? Because that is truly discipline. It is choosing your future self over present comfort. It says, yes, I am tired, but I will push through. It says, yes, this is difficult, but I will not quit. It means, I may not see results now, but I am building something magnificent. The truth is, every small decision is a brick in the house of your future. Every time you act with discipline, you are writing the narrative of your life not with words, but with choices. Successful people don't always feel strong. They simply condition their minds to obey the future, not the feeling. Therefore, stop asking yourself if you feel like it. Start asking, does my future self deserve this? And act like the person you are becoming. 10. Protect your morning. Master the first hour of your day. How you begin your day is exactly how you shape your life. Discipline doesn't start at 10 a.m. It doesn't start after lunch. It starts the second you open your eyes. If you control the morning, you control your life. But if the morning controls you, you are always one step behind. You wake up, you check your phone, you hit snooze 3 times, you lose. You start the day in chaos and rush, and you will lose the battle. The first hour of your day is the most potent hour in your mind. It is like wet cement. Whatever you imprint upon it will endure the whole day. So, write something strong. Wake up like a warrior. Rise up and remind yourself what you are fighting for. Don't wait for the world to motivate you. You generate your own momentum. Read something powerful. Move your body. Plan your day. Recite your goals. Even if it is only 15 minutes, Make it sacred. Because if you don't own your morning, the world will own your day. And if the world owns your day, you will always live by accident, not by purpose. Disciplined people don't just wake up early. They wake up intentionally. They understand that the morning is not just for starting, it is for becoming. So, protect your morning like a lion defends its cub. Do not let the noise of the world or even your own laziness invade that first hour. Take that time back for you, and you will slowly transform your entire life into your own creation. 11. Stop waiting for perfection. Discipline starts with what you have. One of the biggest lies that stops people cold is this: I will start when everything is ready. No, you won't. Because nothing will ever be perfect. You will never feel 100% ready. You will never have all the confidence all of the time. Winners do not wait for perfection. They start with broken tools. They start when things are messy. They start with fear in their chest and doubt in their head. But they start. Discipline is not a flawless blueprint. It is about doing what you can with what you have right now. You have 10 minutes? Use them. You have an old book? Read it. You have a body? Move it. You have pain? Forge it into power. Because here is the truth. You don't need a perfect launch. You need a powerful heart. Think of all the people you admire. They didn't wait. They built their future with one broken brick at a time. Do not let your excuses sound smarter than your dreams. Stop saying, I will do it later. Because later is never a time on the clock. Say, I will do what I can now. That is discipline, not perfection, but persistent action even when the world is less than ideal. And believe this, when you start with less, your success becomes exponentially stronger. 12. Set rules for yourself and obey them like law. Discipline becomes drastically easier when you establish boundaries. The problem is, most people live without rules. They merely react to life. They do not direct it. Here is the key. Set your own rules. Write them out. Honor them, and follow them as if they were unbreakable laws. Set a rule. I do not eat after 9 p.m. I do not check social media until my most important work is done. I write my goals every night before bed. I do not sleep until I complete the task of the day. Now, here is the powerful part. These rules are not for the world. They are for you, and they build self-trust. Every time you follow your own rule, your mind says, I trust you now. You are serious. And that trust turns into confidence, and that confidence turns into momentum, and that momentum turns into power. But if you break your own rules, you lose that trust. Your mind learns that you don't mean what you say. So, don't just write goals. Write rules. Live by them. Discipline grows stronger when it is guided by your own system. You don't need 100 rules. Even 5 strong personal rules can transform your life. Because discipline is not just about action. It is about alignment. Making your actions match your vision. 13. Replace I can't with I must. Honestly, most people are slaves to their own language. They say, I can't wake up early. I can't stop scrolling. I can't focus. And then they live according to those words. When you switch to I must, you change the command structure in your mind. I must wake up early. I must control my mind. I must change my life. Not because it is easy, not because it is fun, but because the future demands it. The phrase I can't is the language of surrender, is an excuse. I must is a command. Let this truth sink deeply into your consciousness. Listen to your own language above all else. When you declare, I must, your brain instantly prepares for battle. Your posture straightens, your spirit awakens, and you stand ready. Start speaking to yourself not as a victim, a quitter, or the weak version of yourself, but as a champion. Say it aloud. I must become disciplined because my entire future depends on it. Once you shift your internal dialogue, your actions will follow. And when your actions change, the trajectory of your entire life will begin its ascent. 14. Acknowledge your mistakes, but never dwell in shame. Instead, use that feeling as fuel, as a burning fire that motivates change. One of the clearest indicators of a disciplined individual is this: they own their errors, not because they are weak, but because they are strong enough to face their own truth. Most people flee their mistakes. They lie to themselves. They blame others. But discipline begins the moment you declare, "This is my fault, and I am going to fix it." It's effortless to project strength by pretending everything is perfect. But true power lies in saying, "I messed up, but I am not stopping here." Your past failures don't disqualify you. Denying them does. The longer you pretend you are fine, the longer you remain stuck. Yet, the instant you admit, "I was wrong, I was lazy, I broke my promise, I let myself down," something miraculous occurs. You reclaim your power. Why? Because you are no longer hiding in the shadows. You are stepping into the light. And once you are in the light, you can grow. So, admit your failures loudly, but then state firmly, "I will not reside in this mistake. I will rise above it." Because the people who keep walking after they stumble are the ones who ultimately fly. And those who confront their truth are the ones who finally find their freedom. 15. Follow your routine even when you don't feel like it. Especially then, discipline does not showcase its true power when you are excited and energized. It reveals itself when you are drained, frustrated, running on empty, and completely devoid of motivation. That is the critical moment. That is the true battlefield. That is where warriors are forged. The weak person says, "Not today." The strong person whispers, "This is hard, but I made a promise to myself." Understand that your routine is your training ground. Every time you adhere to your established habits, you are rebuilding your mind little by little, just like a muscle that grows stronger under sustained pressure. Yes, you will be tired. Yes, you will desperately want to quit. But every time you stick to your routine, regardless of your mood, you are declaring to the universe, "I control my life, not my laziness, not my emotions, and certainly not my weaknesses." This is how empires are built, not in moments of peak motivation, but in moments of cold, unfeeling discipline. Wake up when you said you would. Read what you promised yourself you would read. Eat what fuels you, not what comforts you. Do the boring thing, the difficult thing, the lonely thing, because every day you follow your routine, you construct something no one can take away: unshakable self-respect. Everyone desires self-love, self-worth, and confidence, but they miss the secret. It is born out of consistent routine, so follow it every single day, because that is where your transformation resides. 16. Stop escaping your thoughts. Learn to sit in silence. In today's world, everyone is addicted to escape to music, phones, constant motion, and noise, anything to avoid silence. But discipline demands the opposite. You must sit with your thoughts. You must learn to listen to the whispers of your own mind. Why? Because the truth speaks in silence. In silence, you hear your pain, your destructive patterns, and your deep-seated excuses. You understand why you quit, why you repeat cycles, and why you sabotage yourself. Most people never mature because they never slow down enough to listen. But when you choose silence, even for just 10 minutes a day, you stop running from your truth. You begin to observe. You begin to notice. You begin to realize. You begin to wake up. Yes, It will be uncomfortable. Your mind will scream at you. Check your phone. Do something. But just sit. Breathe. Allow the discomfort to surface. And then, something incredible happens. You start separating yourself from your internal chaos. You realize that you are not your thoughts. You are the sole directing observer. And when you reach that level of awareness, discipline becomes easier because you can finally see the game being played. Silence is not empty. It is filled with the answers you have been seeking. 17. Learn to delay gratification and become dangerous. This is a secret few truly grasp. Discipline is the quiet art of waiting, of choosing later over now. We live in a world where everyone demands speed. Fast money, fast results, fast fame. But the disciplined person trains their mind to say, "Not now. I will wait. I will build it slowly, earning it piece by piece." This is the defining trait of every true master. They don't require immediate pleasure. They are focused on enduring long-term greatness. You eat junk food. Pleasure now. Misery later. You skip work. Relaxation now. Payment later. But when you train yourself to defer pleasure, something rare happens. You become untouchable. While others chase quick highs, you are constructing long-term, sustainable success. While others quit after a week, you are still grinding through the 6th month. You do not live like the crowd, because you are not ordinary. You are building a silent storm, a calm warrior. And this ability to wait to endure now for the reward later is your superpower. So the next time you crave a shortcut, remind yourself that greatness is not rushed, and neither will I be. Delay the reward. Embrace the boredom. Train in the dark. Because when your time comes, you will be unstoppable. 18. Accept that not everyone will understand your journey and keep walking anyway. One of the most painful truths of a disciplined life is this: not everyone is going to applaud you. Friends might call you boring. Your family might not grasp your routines. People may mock your silence, your seriousness, and your sacrifices. But listen deeply to this. They do not need to understand. You need to commit. You are not here to be liked. You are here to evolve. And evolution is a solitary path. Discipline is lonely, but it is worth their laughter. Let them question. Let them remain comfortable in their safe zones. You are building a new reality. You are rising when no one is watching. You are making sacrifices when no one is cheering. And that is the fundamental difference between the ordinary person and a legend. You will outgrow people. You will lose connections. But you will gain something priceless. A life that feels authentic. A life that feels honest. A life that feels entirely yours. So keep walking, with or without their applause. Because one day they will inevitably ask, "How did you do that?" And you will smile quietly, because while they were observing, you were moving. 19. Guard your energy like gold, because it is gold. Most people fail not because they are inherently lazy, but because they expend their finite energy on the wrong things. They waste their internal fire arguing to prove a point, people-pleasing, or focusing on matters that won't matter 5 years from now or even 5 minutes from now. Understand this. Every time you say yes to something meaningless, you are saying no to your future. Every time you scroll mindlessly, engage in fruitless arguments, or gossip carelessly, you are draining your vitality, your mental bandwidth, and your momentum. So, ask yourself daily, does this activity add value to my life or subtract from it? Does this help me grow, or does it merely keep me busy? Successful people don't just manage time. They manage their focus, their space, and, most crucially, their energy. They know that not everyone deserves access to them. Not every message needs a reply. Not every opinion warrants your reaction. And not every invitation is worthy of your acceptance. Your energy is your currency. And every day, You are spending it either on what builds your future or on what slowly destroys it. If you want to flourish, stop engaging with toxic people. Stop feeding distractions. Start protecting your peace like a treasured coffer. The more energy you preserve, the more power you generate. And creation is the very heartbeat of discipline. So, the next time something demands your attention, ask yourself, is this worth lighting my fire? Because once your flame dies out, so does your growth, your focus, and your discipline. Protect it, honor it, live by it. 20. Believe in yourself, love yourself loudly, and think like a leader. This is the most powerful step, the final layer that holds everything else together. Without this core habit, no discipline will ever last. You must, with every fiber of your being, believe that you are worthy, even when no one else believes in you, even when everyone doubts you, even when you have failed 100 times. You must be the inner voice that whispers, I still believe in me. Without self-belief, your journey will constantly feel impossible. You will take 2 steps forward and retreat 3 steps in shame. You will start something beautiful and abandon it the second it gets difficult. You will shrink every time life gets loud. But when you start loving yourself out loud, when you look in the mirror and declare, I am not broken, I am becoming. When you replace I can't with I will, when you fill your mind with powerful affirmations like, I am capable, I am healing, I am strong, that is when true transformation occurs. You become your own light. You stop begging others to see your worth because you finally see it yourself. Yes, it will be hard. Yes, the world will test you. Yes, you will feel lonely sometimes. But even on those days, look back and say, I might not be there yet, but I am not the person I was yesterday. Self-belief becomes your fuel. Self-love becomes your armor. And your strong, positive thoughts become the bridge between where you are and where you belong. So, speak life into your journey. Say it every day. I am strong. I am focused. I am growing. I am not quitting. Because when your mind believes in you, your heart follows. And when your heart believes, your actions rise up. And when your actions rise, your entire life begins to shift. Self-discipline is not just about habits. It is about respecting yourself enough to fight for your future. And now, a final word to you. Yes, you. Reading this right now. This is your moment. Not tomorrow, but now. You have spent years waiting for motivation, waiting for someone to push you, waiting for life to finally become easier. But you don't need easy. You need the truth. And the truth is, you already possess everything you need inside of you. Every single step and every word you just read was written for the warrior within you, for the version of yourself that wants more, dreams bigger, is tired of merely surviving, and is ready to live bravely and fully free. This is not just a motivational video. This is a wake-up call. This is a mirror. This is your definitive sign to stop wasting time, to stop playing small, and to stop doubting. You are here for something greater. You were born to do more. And if you have the discipline to show up day after day, even when it is dark, even when you are alone, your life will become unrecognizable not just because of the success you achieve, but because of who you will become in the process. So, if this shook your soul, if this opened your eyes, if even one word felt written just for you, don't stop here. Subscribe to our channel, not just to learn English, but to become the strongest, clearest, most powerful version of yourself. Here, we don't just teach language. We teach the discipline of living, the growth of faith, and how to become unbreakable. Your journey begins now, and we are with you. Start rising and never quit. Your future self is rooting for you. Don't let them down.